I think he is a Dodgers fan.
Is he?
There's an article here that says Danny DeVito meets his favorite Dodger player. Oh, and there's a picture of him in a Dodgers jersey.
I figure he would be a Dodgers fan.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget he has white hair now because he dyes it for the show for Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah, there's a good gif.
That might deserve a post.
Yeah, I'll
of
save
some sort.
I'll save that.
Has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But
we won't caption it or anything. We'll just post it.
If you're a listener of this podcast, if you exist, you know that we always have Danny DeVito with us. He's always in our hearts. He's in our room, actually.
Yes.
He's in a fashion at least. And it's good.
Yep. He's wearing a Dodgers hat today.
He is wearing a Dodgers hat. He's just switching it up a bit, changing his style. But tonight, we were talking about...
and
I guess doing a little review of Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, we've hinted at this last
Well, we did
episode.
more than hint. We just said we would do it. So
that I would say that on our standards, that's a hint. We say we're going to do lots of things.
yeah, we do. And we end up doing some of them
Some of them,
sometimes.
Yeah. The lesson here is our word means nothing.
And
Don't ever listen to us.
well, no, listen to us. Just don't prescribe to what we say.
Yes.
No, you got to listen to everything we say. Or what's the point? Why are we even doing this? But yeah, we're going to talk about Willy's Wonderland. It's the latest Nic Cage movie. I would say the Nic Cage-assance. We're currently in the Nic Cage-assance.
Yeah.
Along with the Keanu-assance.
Yep, the Keanu-assance. Yeah, there was the golden era of Nic Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Back with Raising Arizona and
Well, that's a good movie.
and going on National Treasure,
Ghost Rider.
yeah,
Face Off.
Yeah, Face Off.
Him and John Travolta.
Yeah,
I heard that's getting a sequel or a reboot of some sort.
it better still have John Travolta. Is it John Travolta?
Playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the golden era. And then there was a time, a dark ages,
Where he owed a lot of money to the IRS, so he's just in every movie.
yeah, and
A lot of bad ones.
and he did that one movie with Hayden Christensen where they were like Knights Templars.
Oh, yeah. I heard that one's good fun for how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swords.
He's in a lot of like patriotic movies. He's in
Yeah.
a lot of like Taken ripoffs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
It's the era where his best movie he did was like The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Right.
Which-
Although, and it's not for everybody, that's for sure. And I know some people that hate it, but I do recommend Mandy. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But I recommend it. And also, he was in a recent adaptation of The Color Out of Space.
Oh, yeah. I've not
the
watched
H.P.
that
Lovecraft
yet.
story. It's pretty good. And it's classic crazy Nic Cage, which is what we love. And it's what we want to see.
Yeah, we've been going through the Nic Cage-assance of, he's been doing,
starting to be in like good movies again sometimes.
He's been in a lot more like indie movies.
Yeah.
People are starting to appreciate him for his style of acting. Yeah, we love him.
Oh, I adore Nic Cage. He's one of my heroes. Maybe one day we'll have Nic Cage cut out. But I feel like, because he's a tall guy. He's a tall, pretty big guy. I feel like that would be intimidating. You just walk in your room.
Yeah, that would be very intimidating to have a Nic Cage cutout standing in a bedroom.
I mean, Danny DeVito has a nice presence, but even that's freaky to walk into.
Yeah. I'm looking at his IMDb page here. He was in The Croods.
He was.
I didn't see that movie.
Technically, those are the biggest movies he's been in recently.
Yeah. He was in Into the Spider-Verse.
And that too, he was Spider Noir.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir.
And
he couldn't see color, and I was like,
oh
his
yeah,
character.
he was in same year as Sorcerer's Apprentice. He was in Kick-Ass. He played.
He was the dad. He was the Batman like
Batman guy. Yeah, he was good in that because it was a weird character that played off of being kind of insane.
If you give Nic Cage the right character, a weird, crazy guy, he's gonna do great with it.
Yeah,
it's just hard to believe him as anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't do that, but I don't think
he's just best at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, before we go further, let's roll the intro.
It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast, the drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast.
Oh, wasn't that good?
That was a good intro. Someday we'll get a soundboard.
It was there, though. I promise you, Colton. It was there. It was there for me.
Use your imagination.
Yes. So yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get into it.
Do it.
You start out. I have to do a thing.
Okay. Yeah. So we were drinking beer tonight, and
yes,
shocker. And we've only got one beer tonight instead of sometimes we have multiple beers. But it's a pretty appropriate one. It's the Sierra Nevada Wonderland.
Wander with an A.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect, but it's almost there.
It's almost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nectarine ale. And it's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your typical kind of fruity IPA, but I think it's just a pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less hoppy. It's a little easier goes down a little easier.
It's very easy. And if this was a review, I do like the design, actually.
It's way better than Sierra Nevada's normal stuff.
Yeah.
They're design-wise.
Just the pale ale.
Yeah.
That's it's recognizable and it works, but it's just garbage.
Yeah, it doesn't
look right. But
this is a good design.
Yeah, it's a nice design.
Some nice artwork on there.
And it tastes good, so that's what matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about Willy's Wonderland.
I watched this today.
If you don't have... Yeah, and I watched it last night, so
yeah,
you have a more recent memory of it, but I took a lot of notes. Most of my notes consisted of, Nic Cage killed a thing, another thing killed that person, Nic Cage is badass.
Yeah.
This is really cheesy.
When I was...
Feels like an 80s B movie,
it's
honestly.
Like trying to be kind of a horror movie, but the whole first, half hour of it, I was laughing.
Well, it's definitely like a horror, action horror comedy.
Yeah, I was laughing a lot.
In fact, on the Wikipedia, that's what it says. It's an American action comedy horror. Directed by Kevin Lewis. Created by Geo Parsons. Or written by Geo Parsons.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Nope, because it's an indie movie. Which is good. It is. Feels nice. It does feel nice to support indie movies, and I do like indie movies. And yeah, Nic Cage did produce it because he was just down. He was just on board for this.
He was like, "That sounds cool."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I get to beat up animatronics."
Yeah,
and I don't have to say anything. Spoiler: Nic Cage literally doesn't say anything this entire movie.
Doesn't have a single line.
And you're probably very confused because we really haven't explained what Willy's Wonderland is.
So, first things first. Spoilers if you've not watched it, because.
But you don't care.
Yeah, we're gonna reveal everything.
You don't care about this. It's not that kind of movie.
If you do care, go watch it.
If you care, I don't even want to talk to you. No, no. If you care, stop listening to this. delete it. Delete this episode, watch the movie, come back, download it, because I think that might count as 2 downloads, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then it's good. But do that if you do care about it. So Willy's Wonderland, the creator does claim that he came up with the idea before Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's
maybe
so much of it's not a super original idea, but it feels very Five Nights at Freddy's.
It really does. But, everyone that grew up going to Chuck E. Cheese could have reasonably come up with this idea.
And I do want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So basically, here's the plot of the movie. It's simple. Nic Cage, and he's got an awesome Camaro. It's souped up. It's a new one, like 2020.
Yeah, it's a cool car.
He's driving through this small town, this just hick, backwoods town. I think it's in Nevada. I don't know. It's vague. Well,
didn't look like Nevada.
It didn't look like anything. On the wiki, it said it's in Nevada, though. Hayesville, Nevada. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, so he's driving, and he hits road spikes. That you put down to catch, car thieves and whatever. People running from the police. Well, he hits road spikes, and then...
Hayesville, Nevada is a real place.
It is a real place. Wow.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, no. That's not... There's Hayesville Avenue.
Nevada's a real
Henderson,
place.
Nevada.
Nevada is a real place.
Nevada's a real place, yeah.
It's not just a giant casino. Okay? It's not just Las Vegas.
No, I have grandparents that lived in Nevada for many years.
It's a place. That's all I'm going to say.
I had grandparents that lived in Mesquite,
Nevada.
Yeah.
Mesquite. That's in Fallout, isn't it?
Is it?
New Vegas. It's got to be.
I don't remember.
Anyways, let me get back to the plot. It's so simple. So his road spikes. He has to get his tires fixed. Oh, but the mechanic doesn't take cash because it's the mechanic doesn't take card because it's a backwoods town. They don't have working internet.
Yeah, so the ATMs don't work. And
ATMs don't work.
And cards.
And by the way, he's not saying anything. He just nods and stuff. And he's like, but since you don't have the cash, you can just work at this place for one night. We will fix your car for free. And then you can leave town.
Sounds like a good deal.
It sounds like a great deal. And
also, I want to say, because let's get it straight how backwoods this town is.
Well,
they don't have internet. They don't have anything like that. And this movie is
all the cops are corrupt.
Yeah, this movie is full also of just characters burning each other. There's at one point where there's the teenagers. And they're talking about the backwoods town, and they go, speaking of backwoods hicks.
Okay,
Inbred hicks, where did so-and-so go?
We will get to the teenagers. But so he agrees to work as a janitor overnight at this abandoned Chuck E. Cheese style family arcade.
Willy's Wonderland. Also,
pizza place.
Nic Cage's character's name is credited as the janitor.
The janitor.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name. I just call him Nic Cage the whole time. Because I feel like this, in my own canon, my head canon, this is
actually Nic Cage.
It's a normal day for him.
He's
just used to this.
Another day in the life of Nic Cage.
Yeah.
I would like to see a TV series like that.
And he's just going to weird haunted family restaurants.
Yeah, every episode is just Nic Cage on a new little adventure, and
maybe that's his side job.
And he barely speaks, and it always just ends up with him beating up something.
Yeah. So he agrees, and then at the same time, these teenagers, and the main one, I do remember her name. It's Liv, and she has a backstory, but basically they want to burn the place down because of all the murders and atrocities that happen there, and it's well known in the town, even at this point in the story, that it's freaking haunted.
Yeah, they all know.
They all know it's...
Except Nic Cage. He doesn't know.
Nic Cage just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He just wants to do his job.
Get his car back.
And get out of there. That's all he cares about. That's his motive.
And so when he's in there cleaning, they put him to work cleaning. And before we get to all like the real events, I want to just point out my favorite part of this movie.
What's that?
He sets on his watch a timer for when it's beer time. Or is it soda he's drinking? I don't know.
It seemed like a soda energy drink.
Yeah, but he has like a bunch of these cans of...
But I would also like to think that it was beer.
Yeah, he has all these cans of, I don't know if they're beer or soda or something.
It's like made up.
And he has them in the fridge, and he has on his watch a timer that will beep when it's time for him to take a break and go drink a beer.
Yeah.
And he takes those damn breaks.
He takes those breaks, and I will say, he does a great job.
Yeah.
He's very thorough with cleaning and everything. He's taking very seriously.
Yeah.
And so... he almost immediately noticed the animatronics doing weird shit, but he just doesn't care.
Yeah, and they don't take long to get to the action.
No.
They don't.
It's a short movie. It's quick.
They don't play around.
Which I think does help it.
Yeah. It's only an hour and a half long.
But yeah, we can't ignore the fact that it's very Five Nights at Freddy's. But like we briefly mentioned earlier, and I do want to talk about it, Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that and animatronics have always creeped me out. Even when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
they would make me cry.
Yeah, I had a teacher in high school who, when he was in college, he told me he worked as a janitorial shift at Disneyland.
Oh boy.
He lived in Anaheim.
Imagine working like on It's a Small World.
He did that. Yeah, he cleaned he got to clean the canals.
Oh,
he wasn't
my
allowed
God.
to touch the animatronics. That they had people.
Wonder why.
They had people that was their job to do that. They don't want the janitor fucking shit up. But he said
just like this movie.
Yeah, and he said that place was creepy as hell at night. And it's creepy, like it's not like it's dark. It's all the lights are on.
Right.
So there's no but it's stage lights and everything. It's just lights.
Well, what makes that creepy to me is because usually when you're on the ride and any of those sorts of things with animatronics and music, you have the music, you have people.
Yeah,
but when you're just alone in there in an empty space,
I remember him
full of all these little dolls and robots.
I remember him also saying the other place he thought was actually really creepy. There was no animatronics in it, but it was kind of creepy to clean at night. Was Space Mountain, because that's a place that's normally the lights are off.
Well, and
so seeing it with the lights on, he said
we can definitely
unnerving.
get into this for a future episode. Whenever we do spooky things, I mean, we could do that anytime, really. It doesn't have to be in October, but, that has a special place.
Yeah.
But Space Mountain is apparently haunted. People have reported seeing a ghost. I forget what they call them, but a ghost that literally, when the ride starts, he gets on the ride.
Yeah.
He rides with you, and then he's gone at the end.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And I've been on that exact ride.
Yeah.
I don't care though. It's a cool ride.
It is a cool ride,
but I bet that would be creepy.
It would. Yeah. Want to know what my teacher said?
It's basically just a warehouse, Space Mountain.
It is. Yeah. That's why he said it's creepy when you see the lights on.
Because it's a dark ride.
It's kind of unnerving with the lights on.
Yeah, it's like nothing like what it would be.
Nothing like what you would expect it to be. You know what he said always was the worst thing to clean as a janitor at Disneyland?
What's that?
The kitchens.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. He said it wasn't the bathrooms, actually, because they would just spray down the bathrooms with disinfectant and then hose it down. Type of thing. But he said the kitchens were nasty.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not good. No, yeah. But it is funny.
All the food is so fucking greasy.
It's so greasy. It's fast food, but I love it. I love the corn dogs. Those are the best corn dogs ever.
Yeah.
I will stand by that. Disneyland corn dogs are the best.
I like the churros they have at those little stands.
The churros are amazing too. But back to Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, it's you cannot not compare it to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
But it's that whole idea, and it's especially people that have grown up with it, and animatronics and stuff like that, they've been around for a while, since the late 70s at least. Well, even before then, but at establishments like this, like pizza places.
Oh yeah, these types of places have been around. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is something very unnerving about them, and it's not obvious. At first you're like, oh, it's just like a big bear or a big mouse, whatever. But there's this, the way they move, the way they look, their eyes, their teeth, like it's not the uncanny valley, I would say, because it's not that, it's kind of, because they have human bodies.
Yeah.
But they move around so weird because they're robots and are cheap. And they just look, there's something off about them. And I've always been afraid of them. And when I was a kid, I was afraid of mascots too.
I don't think it's just, though, the inhuman movement of them. I think it's also how that mascot style animatronics are designed. Because there are animatronics I don't think are creepy. I'm looking up examples of, I'm just looking at examples of animatronics here, and one that comes up that is not creepy is at Disneyland. They have the Tiki Room, and they have the birds and all the animals and stuff.
Because they look like regular animals.
Those aren't creepy at all.
And like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff, they're giant. They're big things.
Yeah, they're
like
mascots.
Chuck E. Cheese is a big ass rat.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
And they're designed like mascot costumes, so your imagination can say there's something in there.
And there's always like, you can tell the workers just hate their life. Like it's the pizza's horrible, but as a kid you don't care. You just eat it. And also you got to think about how unsanitary it is.
I went to Chuck E. Cheese.
The ball pits.
Yeah, I went to Chuck E. Cheese a few times and as a kid, and I don't remember the food at all.
See, I started going to this when I got a little older, and I outgrew Chuck E. Cheese for birthday, and at my friends' birthday parties, we started going to this place called Incredible Pizza. I don't think they had them out in the West. It was more of
they do.
They do?
Yeah, they're not super common, but I went to one time.
Oh, wow, okay. I think they're more common in back east.
Yeah, they're not super common out in the West.
In the Midwest, too. They're like the more mature kids' entertainment place. It's still got silly stuff, but it's basically you just have the arcade. It doesn't have animatronics.
America's an Incredible Pizza Company.
Yeah. And the food is bad, but it's a buffet and there's different stuff. So it's cool. And it doesn't have the creepy animatronics.
Ooh,
At least I don't think they do usually.
I found the Tulsa location.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to that location. Thank you very much. But when I was real little, I seemed to like Chuck E. Cheese. I did go there. Well, my parents would take me there. But the animatronics always scared me. Always.
Yeah, they never...
I always felt uneasy. I did get over crying about it, as I got a little older, but I never felt safe.
No. You don't feel safe
because
around,
it's just the whole idea of this giant animal with these big ass teeth. And then, when you get older, you start thinking about the endoskeleton. You start thinking about how unkept they are.
Yeah.
And just old and just creepy.
That's what makes them so creepy often, is that they're not taken care of in a lot of places.
And this movie and Five Nights at Freddy's plays off of that fear. And I think Five Nights at Freddy's, for the most part, at least the first game, and then a couple of the recent ones are pretty good, but they do a really good job of playing on that fear of animatronics and just it plays on nostalgia as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those eyes.
That's at Chuck E. Cheese.
I thought that was a Five Nights at Freddy's still.
No, that's Chuck E. That's Chuck E. Cheese's.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
No, I'll have to post a lot of stuff for this one. But it's just, and they updated Chuck E. Cheese. You can look up the modern version, and he's just like a cool and hip 2000s,
Yeah.
mouse. But
There's videos online. You can go on YouTube and find videos of the
Chuck E. Cheese.
of the animatronics getting like malfunctioning and like being weird.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
And there's this thing that happened. I think it was at Disneyland. I forgot what. I think the ride isn't around anymore, or it was replaced by something else.
Oh yeah.
But there was this ride, and it has animatronics and stuff. It's like one of the Dixie Wonderland ones, whatever. And the wall like turns around to reveal the animatronics. And I don't know if it's been confirmed. It might have been, but you hear this blood-curdling scream.
Oh yeah.
And it's from the 70s.
Yeah,
and I think it was real.
A woman got crushed.
I think we might have talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this on the Hauntings episode.
Yeah, she got crushed in the machinery.
Yeah.
And it's just that whole, I don't know, that whole idea of like, especially like Chuck E. Cheese's and like little cheap like local entertainment places like this. It's like, you know, it's unkept. You know, it's not up to standards, that it's not, probably not even up to health standards. Well, definitely not up to health standards.
America Sings,
yeah.
Just
look it up.
It was like a show you could do. It was a Deborah Gale Stone on July 8th, 1974, 9 days after the attraction opened.
This was in the 70s.
An 18-year-old hostess was accidentally crushed to death between two walls of the building.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You can look up the video.
It was, yeah.
But it is quite disturbing because it's real. And you can't just make that shit up. It was filmed in the 70s. They didn't have software. Their computers were the size of a
It was one of the audience members heard her scream and notified park staff.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's creepy.
And then they shut it down.
And Five Nights at Freddy's, I remember seeing YouTube videos about it, like Markiplier. That's what made him big.
Yeah.
But I played it, and especially back then in like 2014, I was still a wimp for horror movies and stuff and scary stuff. I was starting to get into it.
They've completely gotten rid of the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese now.
Oh, really?
As of 2019.
Wonder why, huh?
Yeah.
They've been eating children. No, but so that game scared the crap out of me. It's such a simple concept. You're just sitting in the office and you can't defend yourself, and you just have to close the doors at the right time so they don't jump scare you.
Yeah.
But it's not just the jump scares. It's they're creepy animatronics, and they look like something you would see at Chuck E. Cheese. And I think that's why the first couple Five Nights at Freddy's are well done, because they look like something that would be in real life.
Yeah.
The later ones, and I love Scott Cawthon. I think he's a great developer and storyteller. He's very subtle with his storytelling. I admire that. But the later ones did make the animatronics scary, like intentionally scary, instead of just relying on that. Thing with Scott Cawthon, the developer for Five Nights at Freddy's, he was making a ton of games and none of them did well. Critics often complain that his characters look stiff and that they look like animatronics. He even tried to make some Christian games about like Noah's Ark and stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird to think about. But then he got to the point he was like, okay, they think they're creepy looking. I'm going to make a horror game.
Yeah.
It's going to be creepy on purpose.
And it worked. Yeah.
It worked. It became a sensation, and little 6-year-olds buy Freddy Fazbear action figures and costumes. And like there's whole fandoms about it. He did it as a joke, but he made a Five Nights at Freddy's RPG, like JRPG.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was totally like a troll move, but he still made a lot of money off of it. Because of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I have played the recent, it's the VR version, and then they converted it for regular consoles. I did play that some, and it's well done, but it's freaky. and because you can look around and they actually
Those,
move.
all of those games freak me out.
And what's cool about the original ones, it's all 2D. It's all 2D assets. It's just he did a good job of it. So you have that sensation of Five Nights at Freddy's, the whole horror behind it.
It's one of them split in half, so you can see the inside.
Well, I'm glad it didn't have legs that could move. I'm glad it was stuck on that tripod.
If you're ever watching animatronics and its leg moves, get the fuck out of there.
It can.
It means it can.
So fast forward to now to Willy's Wonderland.
If it can bleed. It can
Capitalizing off all that. And I'm not going to try to say the creator stole it from Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe it was an original idea. You know,
but it's still capitalizing off the
it's
popularity.
definitely capitalizing on it. FNAF has always had that humor to it.
Yeah.
So this kind of capitalizes on that.
Doesn't take itself seriously.
I mean, there is definitely, if you get into the lore of FNAF, and there's a watch Game Theory on it. He has like 50 videos on it.
Yeah.
And every other video, he's like, this is the last one. I've cracked the code. I've figured it out.
I swear.
I swear.
No more.
But then another game comes out and like everything's changed. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And also Matt Pat, you know how he is.
Oh, yeah.
I like him as a YouTuber. He has good content. He's smart. He seems smart at least. But he milks shit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, Willy's Wonderland. So, yeah, Nic Cage, he's hired as a well, not really properly hired or anything. He's the janitor for a night so he can get his car fixed.
Yeah, they cut a deal with him.
They cut a deal, and later on we learn, well, I'll get to that. But so the teenagers, and they're very stereotypical, like 80s, like, they're the worst. They're all the worst.
Yeah. They're all...
You have the one final girl of the group, but she's even kind of the worst.
She's kind of annoying.
She's annoying, but I don't know. My girlfriend thought she was annoying.
Thinks she's all that.
Yeah, but so you have them, you throw them into the mix, because Nic Cage, he sees the animatronics walk around and do weird shit. He just does not care. He's like, I'm here to do a job.
He's cleaning.
And then, like, it's his break time. They could be walking behind him. He does not care.
Yeah,
he finds a pinball machine.
I love how into the pinball he gets.
Yeah.
He's playing that pinball. There's like a whole scene where, like, the teenagers are all dealing with the animatronics. They're being chased.
Getting murdered.
Murdered and stuff. And Nic Cage is in the other room playing pinball, having a great time.
Because it's his break time.
Yeah. There's a scene, my favorite part in the whole movie is when it's the last girl, what's her character's name?
Liv.
She confronts that the chameleon animatronic.
Yeah.
And Nic Cage, and you know the chameleon's like about to attack her, and then Nic Cage comes in, like gets in fighting stance, and the chameleon looks scared for a moment.
Yeah.
And then his timer goes off, and he's like,
he like hands the knife
to her, goes to get his beer, have his break. And then he has his break, and while they're fighting, he has his break and comes back at the very end to actually finish it off.
Yeah. It's excellent.
He's got to have that his pinball break.
So you have that. So even before the teenagers show up, though, this is the humor of the movie I really adore. So Nic Cage, he's doing his job. He's wiping stuff down, fixing stuff, washing dishes, whatever. And then the ostrich, I think it's Ozzy the ostrich, comes out. It's the first one that like activates.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to eat your face off. And he just looks at it. Just like, I don't care.
And it attacks him, and he defends himself a few times with a mop broom.
And he gets pissed off.
And then I think that's when it's like, because I think it attacks him first, and he defends himself, and then it does the whole "I'm gonna eat your face," and then he just like snaps the broom in half, and the bird's like eyes go wide, like, oh shit.
Yeah. And he goes to town on that thing, and he like rips its spine out at the end, and he has oil all over him.
How brutally he kills each and every one.
He throws it in a garbage bag,
cleans up,
and like he
puts on a new shirt.
He puts on a
new uniform,
and it's like it doesn't faze him.
Yeah, he just
he has this whole energy of like a bored dad in this movie.
Or the second one that attacks him, it goes
the gorilla, right?
The gorilla, and it's like he had just cleaned the bathroom, got it spotless, and he goes in and it's blood on the mirror. Says like some like message.
And the gorilla's like, "I'll eat your soul."
Yeah, and he just picks up the spray ball and starts cleaning off the glass.
And then he just waits until he gets to it.
Yeah, and he eventually gets to.
And then he has a fist fight.
He has a fist fight with the gorilla, and then he does like a Daniel Craig, Liam Neeson thing, and puts the gorilla's like jaw against the urinal and kicks his head into the urinal and breaks his jaw.
And it works because it's violence, but it's against these machines, these animatronic animals. Yeah. And it's just kind of funny because he's like brutalizing these cartoon characters, basically.
Yeah. And then he throws away the pieces, cleans up after it, goes back to his job.
He's not freaking out.
Takes his beer break.
And that's good. That's great.
He doesn't go hunting for them. He just waits for them to attack him and then deals with it.
So then the teens... Oh, yeah, the main girl, Liv, is caught by the police and locked in a trailer?
Yeah, so
this is a really weird, like, cult town.
Yeah,
you'll see
the
why.
Sheriff raised her.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at first.
Yeah. It is a really weird, like, cult town. Like,
let's just get to it.
Everyone other than the Nic Cage and the teenagers are in on it.
Yeah. So let's just explain that real quick because I don't want to wait. So basically, the proprietor and owner, creator of Willy's Wonderland was also a serial killer. And he used it to lure people in. He would dress up in a suit, get them in like the little private room and kill them.
Yeah. And he attracted like-minded people to work there with him.
Yes. He attracted like other cultists and serial killers and whatever. And also that was like, oh, that's very Five Nights at Freddy's, a serial, because that's how it starts. It's a serial killer. He kills a bunch of kids and then they possess them. But they kind of flipped it on its head because in this, they get caught. Well, they're going to get caught. They're going to be arrested, him and his group. And then they do a suicide ritual thing, like a satanic thing. And it's so silly. You just have to go with it.
Yeah. They
do this ritual so they will possess the animatronics so they can live on and keep killing.
Yeah.
It's dumb, I know. Well, they do that, and then after this other guy buys this place, right? The guy in the cowboy hat?
Tex,
yeah.
Yeah.
So he tries to get it back up and running again, and people start noticing weird things. They might glitch out or whatever, and then they start killing people again. And they're actually leaving the establishment to kill people throughout the town.
Yeah.
So, and they said they were like, oh, we could, they did get a demolition group, right?
Yeah, but then the demolition,
the foreman was killed. The foreman
and his whole family were killed.
Yeah.
And then nobody else would take the job.
No one else would take the job. So they decided to form like a pact, like make a deal with the animatronics and say, we will offer you sacrifices like every week or whatever. Just don't come out and kill people at random.
Yeah.
So it's really dumb. But the whole town is based around that.
Yeah.
Basically, like, and that's why that's why they got Nic Cage, because
their like economy.
Kind of.
Like that's how they. I don't know.
But Nic Cage, they got Nic Cage, and they thought he was just gonna be another sacrifice. But what they didn't realize was
it's Nic Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. So that's the backstory to it. Oh, and the one girl lived. She survived. She was there, and she survived. Like, her family got killed, but she was all right.
Yeah.
And so basically, her and the teenagers, they're really dumb, and they want to burn the place to the ground. But then she's like, "Oh, Nic Cage is in there. We can't do that." And so she goes in to try to get him out. and she crawls through the vents, and this one alligator one attacks her.
Yeah.
And then she gets in the room with Siren Sarah.
That's the creepiest one to me.
That one's really creepy, but it's also...
It's like crawling backwards up the walls. Like,
no, it's really creepy how it moves, but it's also so lazy.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously just a lady with a mask on.
Yeah.
Does not look like an animatronic at all. And you cannot say this small town had advanced, like, androids for their little pizza place. So, yeah, you got to suspend your belief. But she is the creepiest one.
Yeah.
And the way she moves, and she's like really quick. So she attacks her, and then but then the teenager, she finds Nic Cage. She's like, "You got to get out of here. You're gonna get killed." And then his beer break happens, or like something. No,
like
he's just like, he doesn't say anything. He just keeps doing his job.
Yeah, he's just like, nah.
Yeah.
What the teenagers annoy me because they establish pretty early in the movie that every single one of the teenagers believes.
Yeah, they actually believe in it.
Yeah, but then several of them go around the place and act like it's not a big deal. Like they don't believe in it. But like,
yeah, and they're just dumbasses. And then this one couple, they just decide to do it.
Yeah, they go off to do it, and the whole time, like, the girl keeps being like, "Oh, I think that thing moved," and the guy's like, "So
I don't care."
But they established earlier that these people
they know they're murder bots.
Yeah, they know there's murder bots in there.
Yeah,
and they just suddenly don't give a crap.
So basically, they're doing it, and then the other people, they're hanging out like by the main room, and then the knight comes alive.
Oh yeah, I liked that.
And so the knight was originally going to be a pirate.
Yeah.
But since Nic Cage is the producer on this, he said, "Oh, that's too stereotypical. Make it a knight."
Yeah.
I thought that was a good choice.
Yeah, I liked it. He had a big mustache.
Yeah,
big
so
giant sword.
this yeah, that comes into play. So out of nowhere, the knight animatronic, he stabs this teenager straight through the chest with his giant sword, murders him.
Yeah, they're not shy about killing people in this movie.
No, they're not they're just they'll just kill you. And so he kills him, and then the siren and turtle, they eat the couple, or no, they eat a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then Nic Cage kills the knight.
Yeah, he chops its head off.
He chopped his head off with his own sword, which is really badass. I even in my notes, I was like, Cage kills the knight by cutting his head off. Period. Badass. Period.
Yeah. Well, when the teenagers come in and they're all in the main room, and one of the teenagers walks in the room and he's like, they're like, what? Weren't there more? Weren't there 8 of them? And then they see the head sticking out of the trash bags by the door, and they're just one of them's just like, badass.
Yeah. And yeah, I will say there's really good over the top, like, gory kills in this.
That's my favorite part.
It's got good kills, like
Nic Cage, like, brutally.
Him killing animatronics, but also their kills too when they kill the teenagers. Those are good ones.
I
that
like
sounds
when,
really
when
messed up.
the crocodile kills the horny couple. It shows the crocodile like being like a crocodile and like gnawing on them after.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Dead. Yeah.
And then the chameleon one, that one's pretty interesting because it actually like changes its colors like a chameleon. And that one guy is like trying to talk with it.
Yeah, he's the stereotypical idiot of the group, but like, well, they're all idiots.
Soy boy.
He's the stereotypical naive one of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like trusts it, and then it murders him.
I think like, I mean, I think the choice to make I think there was a choice to make the teenagers all the stereotypical horror victims.
Oh, definitely.
Because the way that this movie breaks the mold is having Nic Cage be a badass like killer in it.
No, the whole thing felt like a 80s like VHS movie, like just an 80s B movie. And so yeah, they kill a lot of them. It's Nic Cage and just the one girl, Liv, basically. But then the police fuck it up. They come in, the sheriff like takes her out of there and handcuffs Nic Cage.
Yeah. She brings her deputy.
She's like, "You're just supposed to die."
She brings her deputy who's new to the town.
He's new to town. He has no idea like what any of this is.
Yeah.
But
he's finding out like out on the drive over there.
But they're getting pissed off because Nic Cage isn't dead yet, and it's causing more casualties. I guess that's their reasoning.
They think Nic Cage is pissing off Willy.
And he is.
So, and they're worried that because Nic Cage is pissing off Willy, that Willy will get.
Oh, let's talk about
vengeful.
Before we keep going. Let's talk about all the characters real quick. The animatronics.
Oh yeah.
I think I know their names, but I don't really.
I just know Willy.
Care.
Yeah.
So you have Willy the Weasel. He's the main head honcho. He doesn't do much until later on, but he is doing some. He's controlling the lights and stuff. Yeah, he does stuff, but he's not like playing an active role for a while.
He's the final boss.
He's the final boss.
Yeah,
he's the leader.
He is the most powerful of them, too.
He's the most powerful one. He's the main serial killer.
I mean, when he
started it.
He kills the sheriff by ripping her in half with one swipe. Which is...
I got in a little debate with my girlfriend. She was like, "No, he sliced her in half." And I was like, it kind of looked like he ripped her in half.
I thought he ripped her. Like, I thought he grabbed her with the claws and, like, in one slice, and it ripped her.
Yeah. I'm going to stand by that.
Yeah.
No, but she gets ripped, sliced, whatever, in half. That was a good kill, I will say. And she was annoying.
Yeah.
But
I was like, yay, Willy.
So, yeah, Willy's the head honcho. He's the main one. He's got the long neck. He's dumb looking, but also creepy looking, but not as creepy as the other ones. And then you have the alligator one. I can't remember his name. He eats people. They all do, but you have the gorilla, Gus the gorilla.
Gus the gorilla.
And the knight, I looked this up. His name is Nighty Night. And then Siren Sarah, that's like a fan favorite from what I've seen.
I like the creepiness of her. She's not necessarily my favorite, but she is, I think, one of the creepiest.
She's definitely not the most, realistic one.
The way she gets killed is really stupid.
Well, did you see it in the end?
No. Is there an after credit scene?
Well, not really. It's Nic Cage gets away. He has the car.
Oh yeah, and then she kills off Tex and the mechanic by blowing up the car with her on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just flies off.
Which I'm like, that's cool that they got what was.
And they're definitely going to do a sequel of this.
Yeah.
Even if it did bad, and it did.
But even the Mexican one.
Oh, the Mexican turtle.
Yeah, even his
Tito
getting run over was Artie the alligator.
Artie the alligator. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have Cammy the chameleon.
Yeah.
Which I think was an interesting one. Probably the most unique out of the bunch, honestly.
I agree.
With the color changing and the tongue and stuff. So that's your cast of characters. And so basically Nic Cage takes them out one by one. Well, when he's handcuffed, he has to fight two of them. But he just does. He headbutts one and
here's a fun fact.
All right.
About the production.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the pirate was the original instead of the knight. But the original whole lineup of animatronics was Barry Bear, Douglas Dog, Pirate Pete, Polly Penguin, and Regina Rabbit. And
it was completely different.
They completely changed all of them. Yeah.
Wonder why, huh?
And it says here, due to legal issues, the name
Five
was,
Nights at Freddy's.
Let's see.
You can't have a bear.
It says due to legal issues, the film's name was also changed to Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, it was Wally's Wonderland.
Wally's Wonderland. Okay, yeah, there it is.
I
missed that.
It was Wally's Wonderland, yeah.
I wonder what's the legal issue about that?
Wally World. Wally. What's something that's named Wally? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because Walmart. I don't know, dude. But, so what did you say the original ones? So it was the pirate, it was a rabbit, it was a bear.
Yeah, it was, excuse me. It was originally Barry Bear, Douglas Dog, Pirate Pete, Polly Penguin, and Regina Rabbit.
Yeah, I can see how they changed all that.
Yeah, having a bear in it would have made it like really obviously.
FNAF.
The writer and filmmaker claimed that they weren't trying to rip off Five Nights at Freddy's, but if they had made it a bear, no one would have believed them.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad they ended up making it its own, like, unique enough and unique characters.
Yeah, I thought the cast of the animatronics was good.
No, it was fun. They got to get killed in good ways.
I do like that the chameleon snapped the guy's neck with her tongue.
Yeah, that was cool. There's
kill.
good kills in this movie. This is... Would I watch it a lot or again? Probably not.
No.
But it was a fun ride.
I might watch it again just before my rental goes out, just to get the most out of my money.
I would watch it with you again if we can get drunk with it. But
it was like $20 to rent, so maybe I want to
because it's a theater at home thing.
Watch it again just to
get your money's worth.
Get my money's worth, yeah.
So Nic Cage is left alone. He takes out Siren Sarah, another one. He like squeezes her head with his legs. Like that looked really awkward.
Yeah. He had his
because he was handcuffed. But then he breaks out of him somehow, or
yeah,
I can't remember how.
I bet it wasn't handcuffed. I bet it was zip tied.
Oh, that's even. Those are really hard to get out of.
Yeah, but you're more likely to be able to break a zip tie than you are handcuffs.
I guess so.
At least just from pure strength.
They're easy to cut, obviously.
Yeah. Not saying they're easy to get out of.
But then again, it's Nic Cage.
Pure strength, they're just pulling them apart.
He has the dad.
I feel like you're more likely to be able to do that with a
He has dad strength.
No matter how hard it would be, you're more likely to be able to do that with a zip tie.
And I like to think...
I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think most people would be able to do that.
I would like to think he was drinking beer.
Yeah.
Because I just like the idea of him just being a drunk, angry man.
Yeah,
but
he seemed like when he was playing the pinball that he was getting drunker and drunker.
Definitely. No, I like the whole thing that he does his job, he kills him, and then he keeps doing his job. And like even when he can escape, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's doing his job. He wants his car fixed.
Yeah. So he kills the other ones. Basically,
I like to imagine what he would have done if they hadn't fixed his car, because they fixed up his car, but as the mechanic fixed it, but with the intention of giving it to Tex, the owner.
Well, yeah, because they assumed he would die.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, another car from my collection."
I like to imagine what his response would have been if they hadn't fixed the car and he got out in the morning and was like, "Where's?"
He probably would have murdered them.
Yeah, where's my car?
Because I don't think it would be easy to beat up and punch and rip apart animatronics.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they probably are rubber on the outside or fur or whatever. Willy definitely was, but there are endoskeletons in there.
Yeah. Like,
that would not be easy. But I do like in the final boss fight with Willy. Let's just get to that.
Yeah, I like
he fills his sack up with the beers or sodas.
Yeah. He has that. He tapes the two broom handle parts together. So it's a
thicker solid,
broom handle.
And and Willy fucks them up though.
Yeah,
he slashes him,
slices him a few times. Pretty nasty.
And yeah, he slices or rips the sheriff in half, and she dies. And then there's the slightly racist Mexican turtle.
Yeah. But being in spirit it makes sense why the Mexican turtle would be like that,
because that is something they would have. Being
a 90, it's supposed to be like Willy's Wonderland was built in the 90s, and a 90s animatronics Chuck E. Cheese place would have probably a pretty racist Mexican character.
So was that establishment built in the 90s? But the company's been around since the 80s?
No, the backstory that they say is that in the 80s or in the 90s that's when the serial killer opened the place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because this takes place like in 2020.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, that Camaro he has is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
has one of those fancy you push the button to start.
They have one song in this movie that's licensed or that's copyrighted.
Oh, yep.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird.
Yeah.
And that was just perfect.
I think the only thing that would have made it more perfect is they're playing the song at the end when after Willy fucks up the place, he still cleans it all.
Oh yeah, he like throws them all out in the garbage.
Yeah, he cleans up the place and it's cleaned up properly. And then they play Freebird when like Tex shows up and they're showing Willy, and they show the siren. What's her name?
Siren Sarah.
Siren Sarah. They show her sneaking around. That was the perfect opportunity for them to cut to the guitar solo and have Nic Cage fuck her up.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, perfect opportunity.
But the thing is, he didn't really have any motive to fuck them up.
Exactly, yeah.
They were just in his way. And yeah, he wanted his car. I mean, that's his character motive.
He wanted his car. He had a job to do.
You could call him a character. But yeah, that's basically the movie. It is a fun ride. It's not what I exactly expected or wanted it to be, at least.
No, I wouldn't say
it didn't disappoint me. I was like, yeah, that's what it was going to be.
Oh yeah,
exactly
what I expected.
I did have higher hopes for it to be more like The Evil Dead, like funny and dark, but actually good, like well written.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't.
It's not a great movie. It's fun because it's Nic Cage fighting animatronics.
Yeah, and it capitalizes on Chuck E. Cheese and Five Nights at Freddy's and all that. I kind of had a hard time giving it like a rating out of 10, but I was drunk and I was being nice and I was like, it did do what it was supposed to do. I ended up giving it a 7.
I would give it about a 7.
Compared to like The Evil Dead or something, it would be like a 4.
I would give it a 7, but I'm taking it into account not just like how like critically good the movie is, but also how fun it is, and
it's fun. Like, it's a fun ride.
Entertainment value, and if it does what it's trying to do.
It made me laugh. It was absurd.
It was very entertaining, and it did what it was trying to do. It was trying to be an absurd Nic Cage movie.
Yeah.
And it is.
But as we mentioned, he doesn't have a single line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And I did think that was funny for a while. I got it because, it's like he's the video game.
I think it would have been cool if he had a couple.
He should have had like one cheesy one-liner at least, like when he killed, or at least like when he killed them.
That would have been good, yeah.
Just some cheesy one-liners.
So I wanna point out, so we were talking about like what we would rate it. It didn't get great critical reviews.
I think it's got like a 60% Rotten Tomatoes, so it's still fresh technically.
63% Rotten Tomatoes.
It's gone up.
5.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
That seems about right.
But if you're looking at like what people are rating it on Google, it has 4.2 out of 5 stars.
People that have been excited for this.
It's the type of thing where I think people who are a lot of the reviews that are mediocre are the people who didn't care about it and are just watching it and being a film reviewer.
Yeah, you have to.
But there's a lot of people who seemed like they watch this because it's a stupid, cheesy, fun Nic Cage movie.
Like I said before we started recording,
and most people the reviews I've read that are those people had a blast with it.
This movie is unapologetically stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it fun.
While I was watching it, I texted you something along the lines of, this movie is stupid and I love it.
Yeah.
And you responded with, that's what it was trying to be.
Yeah, exactly. So for setting out, I thought it could have been a little bit more. But it did do what was promised. It just didn't exceed any expectations.
No, yeah.
But it did not disappoint. I got to see Nic Cage rip animatronics apart. I saw good kills, cheesy 80s stereotypes.
I enjoyed this movie for the same reason I enjoy a Godzilla movie. Because when I go into a Godzilla movie, those movies also typically get ripped apart by critics.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't go into those to watch I'm not watching a Francis Ford Coppola movie. I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg. I want to see
things beat each other up.
Yeah, I'm watching giant monsters kill each other.
Yeah,
it's just fun, and that's what if you go into this movie with that expectation of it's just Nic Cage with Five Nights at Freddy's,
and
it's
so
fun. It's really fun.
They are making the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It's been delayed a lot of production hell going on with it. but it is happening.
I would watch that.
And we'll probably talk about that too and compare it to this, see how I
don't like Five Nights at Freddy's, not because I think it's bad, but because I don't do well with horror video games.
Especially jump scares.
That's
that whole game. We played it.
We got drunk one night and put it on. I have the Xbox Game Pass, and they have all those games on there.
I vote we get drunk again
and
play it again.
Yeah, one of these days we will. And I remember us playing that, and we had it on, and I had the control, and I'm playing it, and I don't think I even
even with headphones on, with the lights on.
Yeah, I didn't get to the first night before first night in the game before I handed the controller to you and said, "Nope, you do it."
Yeah,
because I do not do well with those types of horror games or movies.
This isn't a Five Nights at Freddy's episode, but I just want to say those games do so good, not just with the visuals but the sound.
Oh yeah,
it really builds a good.
I think they're
ambiance
extremely
and
well
atmosphere.
done. I think they're especially the main ones are extremely well done games.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
And the first one is considering it's all 2D.
Yeah,
it's really impressive actually.
But then the 3D ones are so much worse.
I just I don't do well
because the animatronics and the 3D new ones have animations. They actually roam around.
I think I've said it on the show before here. When it comes to horror movies or games or anything like that, it's not that I'll never watch them, but there needs to be some reason for me to watch them other than the horror part.
Right.
I'm not one of those people that enjoys being scared.
What also makes Five Nights at Freddy's so scary, it's even worse than like a typical like survival game, like where you can't really defend yourself, but at least you can run away.
It's inevitable.
You're just sitting there, and if you're not perfect with your timing, with your power usage and all that, you're gonna die and you're gonna get jump scared. There's no not getting jump scared.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the whole idea that you're, even without getting into the lore, but the idea that they're trying to stuff you in a suit.
Yeah.
And like
the lore is really cool.
Your organs all get punctured, and like the phone guy says, "Oh, your eyes will be the only thing to see the light of day." Like,
yeah,
it's such a brutal, weird
kind of. It's a cool idea. It's just I'm not one of those people that I don't like horror because I don't like being scared. There has to be something else for me to enjoy, and then I'll put up with the being scared.
I do enjoy a horror movie just to be scared sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's like those like slasher movies.
Yeah.
Those are fun. They can be scary, but they're fun because there's other stuff other than being scared to enjoy.
Right.
There is the cool kills. Sometimes the characters are fun. There's fun stuff there other than being scared.
Right.
It's one reason I don't like Paranormal Activity, those movies, because those movies are only about being scared. I don't think they're poorly done movies. I think they're actually pretty...
They're not good.
And they're okay, but for what... At least the first one, for like the budget and what it was, I respect it.
I think they're boring. I honestly don't even think they're scary.
But, I mean, they're not that bad.
I mean, I'll probably get scared if we actually watched it. But
yeah, they're not that bad, but there's nothing there other than them trying to scare you.
And see, I thought this movie was going to try to blend a little bit more horror factor into it, actually make it scary. It didn't end up being that.
Well, I also find...
But like my girlfriend, she's always been freaked out by animatronics, and she did not like it.
Oh, yeah.
They creeped her out.
They have a few moments in it that I could see how they could be scary. But there's another thing where I say I don't...
But then the next scene, it's Nic Cage doing a victory dance over a pinball machine.
Yeah.
While
chugging beers.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I say I don't like being scared, but I also do find when I'm watching a horror movie, when there is other stuff to enjoy, I am less scared by the scary stuff.
Right.
You could take the other stuff out, and I will find that movie more scary.
Yeah,
because I'm not distracted by when there's other stuff for me to enjoy. I'm more distracted by the other stuff.
Right.
And I don't dwell on the scary parts.
So yeah, that's basically our review. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, if you just like silly, stupid horror movies, you'll like this. Will you want to watch it again? That's up to you. I'm not going to guarantee that, but
I recommend it at least
it's a fun ride.
Don't pay $20 for it.
Wait.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I will say that definitively. Definitely watch it if you
I mean, I paid $20 for it because of the podcast.
Exactly.
I was going to wait for it.
I would have waited as well, but
but there's a lot of things we're probably not going to wait for.
It's a good episode topic and it's relevant.
It is. And just so we have a little bit more to chew on, I've got the 7. This is from mandatory.com. This is mandatory that you know this.
Oh, fuck.
Did you study?
Is there going to be a test?
Pop quiz. So I've got the 7 most horrific crimes to occur at Chuck E. Cheese's. These are all real.
Yeah. Well, we're done with the review, but we're gonna keep going. So don't tune out yet.
Don't tune out.
Yes.
We've got
more stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Think of it as it's a spooky episode now.
It's like Spooktober in February.
It's all over again. It's
Spookentine's Day.
No.
Okay, I tried.
Saints. Well, no, that's March.
Well, Saint Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's Day is Saint Valentine's Day, so you can still throw Saint in there. Saints. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But the thing is, you know us. I mean, we talked about spooky, scary stuff in the summer before. We're going to talk about it sometimes.
We like spooky stuff.
It's fun to talk about.
We like scary stuff.
Well, I'm on this show, so you know it's going to happen.
Of course. You're our resident horror guy.
And you're a resident
Zamboni
guy.
Flogging Molly.
Flogging Molly, Monty Python.
Flat Captain, Monty Python.
So, okay.
I'm Colton.
So I've got the 7 most horrific crimes to occur at Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh, this will be fun.
So, here we go. So this is one that I did know about, like, way back, especially like when Five Nights at Freddy's came out. I was looking up. I was like, is there any basis to this? That something happened? Well, something did happen. It's not as creepy and weird, but it's still bad. So, man commits quadruple homicide in Aurora, Colorado, Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh.
Why is it always Aurora, Colorado?
Aurora. Yeah, what is it with Aurora?
The movie theater shootings happened there.
Fucking Aurora. Poor people in Aurora.
In fact, and I'm not going to read this word for word because that feels like plagiarism, but the author of this article,
was that the Dark
he said
Knight
Aurora
shootings?
can't catch a break, can it?
Was that the Dark Knight shootings in Aurora? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that happened. I remember though that happened, and in Southern California we had movie theaters that stopped doing midnight showings because of that.
No movie theaters do midnight showings now.
Yeah. It's always like
that's why they have the Thursday night showing.
Yeah, it's always like Thursday night at 8 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
which honestly I kind of like better, but
I do like better.
I don't want to be there at midnight.
No.
Quick side tangent. Because
I want to be home drinking.
Our last episode was Harry Potter, and since we're talking about midnight showings, when the last Harry Potter movie came out, the Deathly Hallows Part 2, my sister wanted to go see the midnight showing, but she waited too long and the tickets were sold out. And me and my dad were down to go. So what we ended up doing is my sister recommended, she was looking on the website for the movie theater, and she saw there was a 3 a.m. showing. And
whoa, I remember when they did those.
Yeah, and she was kind of bluffing. She was not totally serious. She didn't actually want to go to, no one actually wants to go to the fucking 3 a.m. showing. So she was like, oh, let's go to the 3 a.m. showing. She's totally bluffing. And my dad, being just as much of an asshole as my sister, also totally bluffing, was like, okay, let's go. And they're both total assholes and didn't want to call each other's bluffs. So we went.
Which one was it?
The last one, the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Oh, wow, that would have been cool.
That's a 2.5 hour movie. So I remember how it is probably one of the weirdest. You know how people talk about online times or moments that seem like they're slightly out of reality?
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those. Walking out of a movie theater as the sun is rising.
That's just weird.
3 a.m. showings. Let's bring that back. Anyway, Aurora.
Okay, so in Aurora, Colorado in 1993, disgruntled ex-employee Nathan Dunlap entered the doors of Chuck E. Cheese and hid in the bathroom until closing time. Afterwards, he had a pistol on him. I'm not sure what make or model. They don't say.
I don't think
I
it
can
matters.
probably look. It doesn't matter. But he opened fire on employees Ben Grant, 17, Colleen O'Connor, 17, Sylvia Crowell. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, and you're dead, and it really feels wrong. I'm so sorry. Please don't harm me.
What's it?
Crowell, 19, and Marge Kohlberg, 50. They were all chefs, cooks, line cooks.
Yeah, a bit late, probably there late at night washing.
One of the
dishes
line
and
cooks
stuff.
played dead. Wow. He survived, but he was shot in the face.
Ooh.
So I can't imagine what that looked like. I do not want to see what that looks like. So he was sentenced to death.
Ooh.
He's actually, and I don't want to get political here, but John Hickenlooper extended or fought to extend his sentence or something.
Yeah, really?
Because iffy on capital punishment like that, on death sentences.
I'm undecided.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, let's not get into that. I take a lot of philosophy courses at our school.
Yeah, we don't want to be here for another 3
capital
hours.
punishment is something we discuss often, from not a political perspective, but from a philosophy.
But he is on death row. I'm pretty sure he's still on death row.
I am undecided about that issue.
But yeah, he killed 5 people at Chuck E. Cheese. So that could be argued, that's the basis for a lot of these creepy animatronic pizza place stories.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Crowell.
Yeah.
I think that's how you would pronounce Sylvia Crowell.
So here's another one. Number 2. I don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese no more, says Robert Olinsky, 3 years old, after witnessing Grandma getting beaten and choked.
What?
Grandmother Carol Brown just wanted to see her grandchildren enjoy a nice, quiet birthday. It's never going to be quiet. It's a bunch of kids screaming and chasing each other and peeing in the ball pit.
Damn.
It's the least quiet place you can think of. Chuck E. Cheese.
You know there's a Chuck E. Cheese Reddit page?
Mm-hmm. So, Southgate, California. Recognize that?
I don't, but I'll look it up.
So after a few choice words were exchanged between their party and the neighboring family, a 200-pound beast pounced on Gam Gam. Okay, this is...
Oh, it's by Compton.
The writer's name's not mine. And he began hurling juices in her precious elderly face.
Yeah, that's like neighbors like Compton.
The assailant then attempted to strangle the life out of the grandmother as the grandkids watched in horror.
Oh, fuck.
Birthday boys vowed to never step foot inside another Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too.
There's a video on this next one. I think it's been removed.
Okay, I have to say, I'm looking at the Chuck E. Cheese Reddit page right now, and there's a post on there. I'm looking for a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, mostly Chucky himself. I would love to get any version of him to care for.
Yeah, there's a lot of creeps on the internet.
If you're selling or wanting or getting rid of him, please let me know.
Did you not realize this?
Yeah. This person.
Did you see that guy that he made the furry animatronic, like Anime Girl? And it's like hyper realistic.
What?
It's got like all the body parts. And he says it's not a sexual thing.
It is, though.
It is.
I mean, okay, I will recognize with furries, a lot of furries on the internet are not into the sexual part. But when you start building anatomically correct one,
it uses a real model of a human skeleton in it and like muscle structures.
When you start doing that, I am building like and getting to that level, I have a hard time believing that there's nothing sexual in there at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this one had to happen in Florida, of course.
Of course, Florida man.
So, a verbal squabble escalated into a violent clash of 18 people.
What?
At the Boynton Beach, Florida Chuck E. Cheese in 2013. 3 were arrested and a man was shot in the leg.
Oh my God.
The party left without paying its $286 bill.
Oh, wow.
So this big, massive brawl in Florida occurred at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, I found a fun article. I've not read it yet.
Fun.
But the headline is kind of fun looking. Chuck E. Cheese robot helped Florida man find his way. I can't pass this article up. We have to.
Tell me about it.
Jared Sanchez this is NBC6 South Florida. Is the website I'm getting this off of. Jared Sanchez's master bedroom has the vibe of a novelty pizza restaurant for children, with an electric bill to match, close to $400 a month. Lights spell out the king in every direction. There are 50.
Like Elvis?
It doesn't specify. There are 50-inch monitors, arcade machines, mint condition He-Mans. The floor is black and white.
And this is at his
checkerboard.
house?
Yes.
He has like his own arcade, basically?
Yes. It's his bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah. He has in his room, it says, to his left, a 10-foot metal skeleton with creepy eyeballs the size of baseballs stares down. To his right, 2 700-pound lions with the same blue eye. This is weird. He has Chuck E. Cheese animatronics in his bedroom. He takes a pull from a vape pen. Checks why. Vape Nation.
Vape Nage. Represent.
I don't remember how to do it. Oh.
There you go. Yeah, it's
there. Something I don't. I just remember taking a picture of you like on the boardwalk when we were in LA.
Yeah, you knew I was gonna do that.
Crouching down doing Vape Nation.
Yeah. So he has the animatronics in his room.
Yeah.
That's disconcerting.
By the king, it's a giant. That refers to a giant Elvis impersonating lion animatronic.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
You're excused. It's from the Chuck E. Cheese band.
First, I thought you were gonna just say Elvis, a giant Elvis,
No.
but then you say no, a giant Elvis impersonating
lion. Yeah.
And that's at Chuck E. Cheese?
A quote from Mr. Sanchez. He moved so smoothly, it looked to me as if he were real, Sanchez said of the king. All of the other robots moved like robots. But this one didn't, apparently. He thought...
But I was going to say something earlier about furries. If you ever think if you're a furry and listening, we don't care what you do with your personal life.
No, we're not making fun of furries.
We're not trying to make fun of you. I mean, it's easy.
It's easy pickings, but we don't. I
don't care.
We have plenty of stuff to
we make fun of everything.
We don't have to stoop down to making fun of furries.
But I will say, I don't care what you do. Just leave me out of it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But if you wanna, if you wanna do it,
don't stuff me into an animatronic suit and
murder me.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a sensual relationship while wearing a mascot outfit, go for it. If you want to, if you're really into that, go for it. But don't let anyone pressure you into doing anything.
Yeah. Consent, yo.
And also for all our listeners, we're going to make fun of anything and everything.
Yeah, nothing is safe. No one is safe. Well, there's a few things I could think of that I wouldn't touch on, but...
Well, no ethnic jokes.
Yeah, no ethnic jokes. No, I'm not going to make fun of trans people.
We do have a line we won't cross.
Yeah, there are lines we won't cross. Anyway, what's next?
There's just a lot of lines we will cross.
Yeah, what's next on your list? I
I
like your keyboard. Is it?
don't want to talk about that one because that's serious. Yeah, it's a keyboard cover because my H key wants to fall off all the time. It got broke.
Nice.
Don't worry about it.
He has a nice looking keyboard.
Thank you.
What's next on our list here?
It's also good because if you spill beer on it,
oh, that is nice.
I'm not gonna do that, but
don't do it.
it will prevent it from getting in the keyboard.
I got this. I got
Keyboard cover.
My new laptop has a really nice
Dude.
keyboard feels really good, but like if I spilled beer on it, it would not be okay.
This thing was really cheap. It's just like,
Oh wow.
and it's not even like sticky really. It just grips on it.
Oh, that's cool.
It just stays on.
Ooh.
As long as you don't like hold it upside down or anything.
That's very cool.
Why would you be doing that? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, got distracted by keyboard.
Okay, so another Chuck E. Cheese thing. 2 arrested after smoking heroin in Chuck E. Cheese bathroom stall.
What's new?
Right? Daniel Lobach, 27, and Colin Zaborowski, 28, were arrested and charged with possession of heroin last month? Wait, when was this article?
What?
This was in 2014. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it seems like nothing's changed. Last year.
They met at the restaurant to meet a drug supplier, the dealer. Brawl of 18, how about 20?
It's a good place to meet
In the
drug
small
dealers.
town of Brookfield Township, Wisconsin, violence broke out after a child was taking too long to exchange tickets for a toy. 20 people were involved in the savage frenzy. Chuck E. Cheese, or CEC Entertainment Inc. issued
I'm looking on the.
There's a lot of bad, crazy stuff that happened at Chuck E. Cheese's.
I'm looking at the Chuck E. Cheese website. You can order from their menu for delivery.
Like get delivered pizza from them?
Yeah.
I think they did do that.
Why would anyone do that? Isn't the whole point of Chuck E. Cheese to take your kids so they can go play games and stuff?
Yeah, and so they can get all their energy out.
Nobody actually likes the food there.
My mom would always get a salad at Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm like, that sounds horrible.
It sounds like it might be the best thing there.
Yeah, because how do you mess that up?
Yeah, they could just have like bagged lettuce from the grocery store with some ranch dressing, and that might be better than some of the stuff they have on the menu.
Like the cardboard pizza.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese since I was like 10 years old. So
Okay, number 7.
To be fair, I don't know if it's gotten better.
A 20-person brawl is weak. How about 85?
What? Okay, continue.
A mere tiff between 3 families exploded into a rumble of 85 in Flint Township, Michigan. Flint, Michigan.
Of course.
Might be the water. Police used pepper spray to calm things down. Okay.
Pepper spray never calms anything down.
They called on dozens of squad cars to control the crowd. No one was arrested.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Why is there brawls happening at Chuck E. Cheese? What's going on?
I love stories about big brawls. You know that there's two sports, at least in America, that are known for bench clearing fights that get the whole team involved.
Hockey.
Hockey is one. Can you guess the other, though?
Baseball.
It is baseball.
Definitely.
A lot of people don't guess
A lot
baseball.
of fights at baseball.
Yeah,
games.
well, it's the bench clearing fights. Hockey actually, like, the whole team actually does. There have been examples of entire brawls that start out between teams.
Right, yeah.
Baseball isn't quite like that. It's more like 2 people start fighting and then the entire team goes up to back them up, and it's just a bunch of guys chesting up to each other. But it is a bench clearing brawl. There is I should find it. There is a famous fight between the Colorado Avalanche and I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was the Red Wings.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a bench clearing fight, and this is the type of fight that you would think you would see in a movie, where the team jumps off the bench and they actually start beating each other up and hacking each other. It happened in 97. It's the Colorado Avalanche Detroit Red Wings brawl. It was a large-scale on-ice melee that occurred in 1997 in Detroit between the two NHL rivals. The brawl, which has been nicknamed Bloody Wednesday,
Oh no!
Fight Night at the Joe, and Brawl in Hockeytown.
I found another Chuck E. Cheese thing. This is on r/no sleep on Reddit.
Oh, that's okay. We got to prepare for that. Hold on. But anyway, yeah. Look, if you're listening and you're interested in that, read up on that fight. Okay.
What was the fight again?
The Colorado Avalanche versus the Detroit Red Wings. 1997,
you said?
7, I think it was. I already closed the page. It was a all-out, full-team brawl, like blood on the ice type of brawl.
Oh, this thing I found.
Like people went to the hospital.
Wow.
Like they were trying to hurt each other.
Never mind. This thing's a creepypasta. I mean, if you want me to read it, I can. But it won't be as good because it's not real.
Yeah.
But what is true about the ball pits, I don't think a kid died in one of them. I hope not. But they are disgusting. Kids would pee in them like a pool, but it's just a bunch of plastic balls.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
there would be like pizzas found in it and like their greasy faces. Like they were disgusting. And I don't remember actually going in those that much, but I did go on them, and I very much regret that now.
I would not now. After COVID, I don't know.
Oh, that's not going to be a thing. That can't be a thing.
They have. Yeah. That they will continue ball pits now.
Hell no.
Yeah. It's just
But yeah,
nasty.
Chuck E. Cheese is creepy. I don't like the animatronics. I don't like that big rat. I don't like how he looks at me. I don't like his
haven't gone
eyes.
to a Chuck E. Cheese since I was probably 10 years old.
No, but I remember.
Because when I got older, I still liked those party arcade places. But
I still like them now to a degree. Like, especially like Dave and Buster's, something like that, you know?
There's another one.
I just don't want
There's
1,000.
another one that I had. I think I had at least one birthday party at it. I'm trying to find it. It's like Game something. I don't remember what it's called.
I just don't want 1,000 kids screaming and pissing their pants everywhere around me while I'm trying to play Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And eat some pizza. I just want to eat pizza, drink beer, and live my life. Is that too much to ask for?
That's a good way to live your life. There's this one place. I'm trying to find the name of it. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. And it's kind of Dave & Buster GameWorks.
Okay.
Just like Dave & Buster's. And I had at least one birthday party there when I was like in middle school, and I had a few friends that had their parties there. And it was like Dave & Buster's, but I think a little bit more kid-friendly.
Okay.
Dave & Buster's really plays off of the...
adults only.
Yeah, the
drinks.
Drink and play arcade games.
Yeah.
GameWorks had, at least the one near where I went to, it had the bottom floor was the arcade. And then it had the top floor, you go up the stairs, that's where they had the billiards tables and the bar.
Oh, that's
cool. They
cool.
had them a little separated. And actually, it was kind of cool. I think that having the bar separated from the arcade was a neat idea. If I were a parent, I would love to go to a place like that because then I could just send the kids down to the arcade and then go play pool.
Right.
Maybe
pinball. I would say pinball.
Pinball, skee ball.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. They always still have that at arcades.
Yeah.
I'm
a big Galaga guy.
Galaga. They always have those class Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
They always have those older arcade games that I always really like.
But
I still like arcades.
Man, I like this beer, by the way. I just
really
want to
good.
say that.
Yeah. Wonderland. Nectarine Ale by Sierra Nevada Brewing.
7.5%.
More than I thought it would be.
That is more than...
Yeah.
It's working.
It's more than their pale ale, I believe.
It is, yeah. But that's it. Willy's Wonderland, if you're into that kind of thing, see it. It's a fun ride. Don't rent it though if you don't
Yeah,
care.
don't pay $20 for it.
Unless you really want to.
If you're gonna rent it, wait till you can rent it for $5.
But anything with Nic Cage, I'll watch and have fun with.
Yeah, expect more Nic Cage content in the future.
Definitely. Nic Cage content coming up.
And we've not done much Danny DeVito content.
We haven't.
Despite having Danny being a crucial part of our show.
He is a crucial part now.
We love you, Danny.
And and I did it with last week's guest, and I apologize for we both apologize for the audio quality. We had a lot of technical difficulties.
We're not totally sure.
Well, I think we had
an idea.
We were using an old mic, and I think that was causing the problems. But now we will never use an old mic again.
Yeah.
We have
all
the mics we could ever desire. They're all exactly the same.
Yeah, we got new cords.
Perfect.
We got a fourth mic that matches the other three we have.
So we should be good to go now.
Yeah, so we're not totally sure what caused that audio problem.
And also,
we think it was the mic, and
I want to. Yeah, definitely. I want to say it's been fun having the guest.
Yeah,
but it's nice to just go back to the basics for this one, to not have to worry about what anyone's doing, to just drink and
talk about a stupid movie
and make fun of stuff. You know. That's what we like doing. That's why we do this.
My favorite episodes, some of my favorite episodes we've done have been just talking about a movie.
Yeah.
Hellboy was a fun episode.
See,
well, it was for me.
We need another movie like that.
The Lighthouse, which I'm still obsessed with.
See, here's my thing.
Which might be unhealthy, but
those are both great episodes for different reasons. Hellboy one, Hellboy made me very angry, and I just hated it.
And I had a great time watching.
And that's what made it
angry about that.
That's what made it fun. Lighthouse, we could actually digest it. It's a deep movie. There's a lot going on. This one wasn't either of those. It was fine.
We just get to talk about Chuck E. Cheese and Nic Cage. Really.
And Five Nights at Freddy's. You know,
this is just an excuse to talk about that stuff.
And I mean, I could see ourselves doing a FNAF episode.
And admittedly, us trying to be relevant, talking about a new movie.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about that. Yeah.
And definitely expect a commentary coming up in the next few weeks.
Definitely, yeah.
We have something really fun planned for that. And it is going to be relevant to a degree. So look forward to that. Next episode, who knows? We'll see. Yeah. So that was that. Willy's Wonderland. It's fine. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Watch it, but don't pay $20.
If you're a guy that has animatronics in his room, don't. Just stop.
just don't. Yeah.
What are you doing? Stop. Reevaluate your life.
Even
they're creepy. Just stop.
Honestly, guys, even if it's like the singing fish on the wall.
That's okay though.
No, I don't think that.
Every uncle in the trailer has that.
Yeah, but that's the uncle in the trailer. None of us want to be the uncle in the trailer.
You know what?
I'm sorry, Jacob.
Here's my last remark. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself be the uncle in the trailer. That's it. See you guys next week.
Yeah.